Hello everyone, this is Sir Ahmed Hassan, and today I'm going to start explaining the course of literature. In this course, we're going to know more about how to analyze, how to understand literature in its three branches: novel, drama, and poetry. And hopefully, that this course will be of a great use for those who are studying at the schools or even at universities, and also teachers in the schools, universities, or also in some courses. Okay, so let's start explaining our course. First of all, I'm going to explain what does it mean literature. Okay, so normally maybe you thought about reading books, about reading newspapers and magazines and so on. Just to know more about the news, you don't have a specific kind of book that you are reading. Maybe you're reading scientific books, maybe you're reading books about the usage of some machines and so on. But here in the novels and the plays and the poems, you are reading to entertain yourself. Okay, so you are reading here the novels, a book that has about 12 chapters, 14, 15, whatever. Okay, and you are reading a play and you enjoy yourself reading the script of the play, the dialogues and the movements of the characters during the play. And also in poems, the recitation of the poem, how to say the poem, how the poems are made as songs, and so on. This is a great word that you should enjoy it yourself. Okay. So that's for the meaning of literature, that pieces of writing that are valued as works of art. So you have here a kind of artistic sense, especially the novels, the plays, and the poems. So these are the parts of literature: novel, drama, and poetry. Unlike the books that you read it or the newspaper that you read it also in the magazines now, this one is different because this one is related to art and it gives you this kind of artistic sense in analyzing and understanding these kind of books, novels, the plays, and also the poems. Okay, so that was for the meaning of the word literature. Nice one. Okay, now let's move to number two. Why should I study literature? If someone now is going to study or to maybe to teach literature, he would ask himself, why should I study this one? What's the importance of studying this one? Okay, literature can be like a mirror. Okay, for any society, for any group of people living at any age, we can say that that literature is a mirror of the society. So, whatever you are going to do as a group of people and at any time, you will have someone writing about it in the literature, in the form of novel, in the form of a play, in the form of a poem. So, this one can reflect, this one can show different thing about your society in the form of written word. Okay, and that's what we call it. Yes, like a mirror for your society or a mirror for your time. It makes you eye opener. So you begin to think in a different way. Okay. You begin to learn how to analyze the events of the story or the novel or the drama and the poem and so on. So you begin to understand, you begin to analyze, you begin to know more. So here you began to be like eye opener. You began to think in a different way. You began to have a wide vision of the events. Okay, so you begin to be different in every aspect if you are going to learn more about literature. Okay. You begin to be observer or recorder. You begin to see the development of the characters, the development of the plot, how the events are moving in the novel, in the play, in the poem. You begin to have here the sense of recording the events in the past, and you begin to compare the characters and you begin to know more about what's happening before and what's happening after. So this one here will make you also like the fourth point here, that you begin to be like a critic. You begin to mention what is positive, what is negative about the events that's happening in the story or in the novel, in the drama. You begin to think about why the people are behaving in this way. Why did they do that? Okay, they did not have mind at this time. Why should the people be unfair to the others? Why should they make the other people suffer? And that what will make or what will lead to revolution. So simply you began to have the sense of being a critic. So here, if you learn more about literature, you will have the idea of being a critic. Also, you have the idea of being a dreamer. Okay, you see the bad things that happen at any place, at any age, and then you say that the people need some kind of changes. Yes, they need to have some changes in their life, and that will make their life much better than before. So you think maybe if we have no suffering, if we have no poverty, if we have no hunger, if we have a kind of justice at this time, the society will be perfect. So that's the job here of literature. It shows you how the events were moving, it shows you how the characters were behaving in the past, and your job here, according to what we said here, to have like a kind of mirror for what was happening, or a reflection of what was happening. You have a wide vision and to analyze the events in your own way. You begin to be a great observer. You know, yes, that's happening at this age, and that's happening at this age, and the events are repeated in the same way. Yes, you begin to be a critic. You begin to have the sense of criticizing the things around. You say what is positive, what is negative, why this one is happening and not the other one, and so on. You began also to be a dreamer. You began to have some dreams about better future for the people at this age or at this time, and that there shouldn't not be there shouldn't be any kind of injustice, any kind of suffering, and so on. Okay, so that's the first part of the course of literature. We had here today the meaning of literature, and also, why should we study the literature? Till we meet again, goodbye. This was Sir Ahmed Hassan.